Guys play games, but why don't more women? This time in the bonus round, we talk about girls, girls, girls.
Oh, you're so raped again? Oh.
How did women influence the design of a game like BioShock?
Oh yeah, this game has this because there are women involved.
And what's held back so many ladies from becoming hardcore gamers?
Even for myself, for sure, there was a few years where it just got, too intense.
Find out right now in the bonus round. Hey, welcome back to the bonus round. I'm Jeff Keighley, and we are talking now about women in the gaming industry. We had Jade Raymond on for the last two segments talking about Assassin's Creed. And joining me now, we have two other guests. We have Melissa Miller, who's a senior producer at 2K Games, who worked on BioShock. Obviously a contender for Game of the Year. Good to have you. And of course, a woman who needs no introduction, Game Trailer's own Amanda McKay. All right, so maybe we'll have dueling questions for you, me and Amanda going at it here. But no, so we brought you guys on to talk about, obviously, working in the gaming industry, being women. Well, so let's start with you. BioShock, one of the most successful games of the year. I think clearly a shoe-in for the Video Game Awards to at least win something coming up here December 9th on Spike. Working on that project, what was it like being the producer of BioShock?
Well, it was a very large project, and I definitely don't want to, I want to give props to all the other people. Alyssa Finley, who's the project lead in Boston, and then I worked with...
Another woman?
Yes. Okay. Actually, there were a lot of women in key positions on BioShock.
Right.
Alyssa Finley, who I just mentioned, Emily Ridgway, who was the audio director, Emily Brinkett, who was kind of operations, HR, and who was responsible for a lot of the key hires, Kate Kellogg, who was before her in that same position. So there were a lot of women on BioShock.
That's interesting. How do you think that impacted the design of the game? Do you think women are really, changing the way games are designed?
See, that's a kind of a weird question because I'm not. It feels like when you ask that you are expecting some kind of oh yeah, this game has this because there are women involved, and it's kind of it's.
No, it's I would say you think that's a fair question, man? It's you talk about women, maybe it's more emotion in the game and the story or something, or it's clear that not that way more guys play games than women, right? You know this, Amanda, right?
Yeah, I think that's not as true as it was a few years ago, but I definitely still think
BioShock,
that's a valid
come on.
statement. Yeah.
BioShock is probably 90% of a male audience playing that, I would guess. But
I don't know. There was this woman who was at E3 and saw our E3 demo,
right.
And I heard her as she was walking out goes, "I want to have that game's baby," and I just thought that was the funniest thing.
Yeah, okay. Not many guys would say that.
That's a girly quote.
That is a girly quote. Now, so Amanda, you think being a female sort of journalist, reporting on these games, most of the people you interview are guys, though, right? Producers and developers. Right?
Yes, definitely most of them are still guys, but I will say over the last few years there has been a huge increase in the amount of women that I'm seeing who are totally, not only in the background of the gaming industry, we've always seen them, in marketing and key PR positions, but now we're seeing so many girl producers and developers, and just, right. I think that, like you said, all those girls that were working on BioShock, that's not really that surprising to me, because more and more girls are just stepping it up and showing what we can do.
And do we think, you think anecdotally, are you seeing more, women playing games as well? The
yes.
Wii is certainly, is that, everyone says women love the Wii. Is that true? is that the system for women? Amanda?
I will say that the Wii has definitely helped get a lot of my girlfriends into gaming that previously had no idea what I did, had no idea what any of the systems were, and they definitely started playing Wii Sports on Friday night, turned it into a drinking game kind of thing, and everyone's playing.
What is the drinking game?
There's all sorts, Jeff, please. I cannot discuss that.
We need to know. It'll be in the enhanced on the side of the screen there, Buzz, right? It'll describe the drinking game, the rules of the Mandy McKay drinking game.
But I also think that it's opened the conversation for the other systems as well, like for the 360 and the PlayStation 3. I've had conversations with my girlfriends now where they actually really want to know the differences between the Nintendo Wii and the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, whereas previously it wouldn't have even been on their radar. So I think maybe it's opened the door, but I don't think that girls are restricted to the Wii.
It's the gateway
by any
system.
means. Yes, the gateway.
And before you know it, they'll be playing Call of Duty 4 online, right? Taking down kills.
But, and I heard a lot of people tell me, a lot of guys tell me that as they've been playing BioShock at home, you know, their girlfriend or their wife or someone who previously wasn't interested in any of the games they play were actually enjoyed just watching them play through BioShock and everything, which was a really, really cool thing. And I think that's more than anything what's going to open the door for more women is just having really cool and unique games that appeal to everybody and not necessarily like we don't need to be building games that are like these are aimed at girls and this is going to get them into gaming, but just having like a really strong and really creative and new games for them to play.
And girls have to just not be afraid to pick up the controller, because I think sometimes they look at a 360 controller or something and there's so many buttons and they just want to stick to the Wii, but I mean, pick it up and play. You can do it, girl.
Yeah, and there are so many games out there, and it feels like, you know, maybe they've only seen a few, or maybe they've seen just like fighting games or the sports games and everything, and they really just need to understand there are other games out there like Shadow of the Colossus, where, you know, it's much more about story and atmosphere and everything, and just being able to be exposed and knowledgeable about those other games, and they might find the game that's right for them.
Right. Yeah, no, so do you think, I mean, you know, in the past, what has held back women from playing games? I mean, you think it is like the controller is intimidating?
I think that, you know, I can't speak for every single girl out there, but I think for a lot of people, yeah. I mean, even for myself, for sure, there was a few years where it just got, you know, too intense, and I wasn't playing as much as I used to. And then, you know, I'm always out with all the boys, especially at work, and it can definitely be a little intimidating to pick up that controller in front of everyone, but you just got to do it once or twice, and you get the hang of it, and then you can have as much fun as everybody else. I mean, you don't want to miss out on something because you're intimidated.
But is it, you know, like you look at a game like BioShock, I mean, I thought it had a great, you know, control scheme, great interface that I think, you know, made it more streamlined, easier to kind of get into. And it was, you know, RPG, which is probably one of like the hardest core genres that people would think is kind of almost like, you know, 98% male, because it's just, it's, you know, it's so hardcore. And BioShock was a game that took, you know, RPGs and made it more mainstream. Is that what it's going to take with some of these other games to, you know, broaden the base? Was that something you thought about? You know, when you're developing the game, saying how do we make it more appealing to wider than just the hardcore, you know, male RPG demographic?
Definitely. And you know, I saw the show you did with Hoagie and Bill, and they talked a lot about focus testing, and that was a big deal.
Women were in those focus tests?
No.
Come on, you're telling such a good story here.
No, you had me. I was right there with you.
But it was more about accessibility, and see, that's the thing is, at this point in the video game industry, I don't think that it's necessary. I think there are more women who have become exposed. I saw a blurb on Kotaku about an article in the Daily Trojan.
USC's own paper?
Yes, where they were doing an article on women who are gamers just on campus and everything. And I think the fact that you have a lot of colleges offering these programs in video game design and things like that, more and more women are just going to be exposed to it, you know, and come into the industry. And you know, they were saying that they liked, you know, they were like first-person shooters. They liked a whole range of games and everything. And I just think that now more and more people are. It's not like it was a few years ago when you were depending on maybe an older brother or a boyfriend to get you exposed to video games.
All right, we'll talk more about that and much more when we come back in the bonus round. Next time in the bonus round, our discussion with Amanda and Melissa continues. How do they think women are portrayed in video games?
Personally, when I play Tomb Raider, I love the fact that she's a hot girl. Angelina did great in the movies.
And what can Melissa tell us about her next game, Borderlands?
They're trying to expand and evolve what's in the first-person shooter genre.
Get the scoop next time in the bonus round.
Bonus round.